I think that continually people seem to have the impression that simply because we are in opposition, anything that the EC does, we are mandated to begin to question it. But we have not questioned the EC without actually having a good basis for actually questioning the actions. And let me start off by saying that the history of the EC in the last 8 years is the basis from which there's this heightened suspicion of their actions. Before I get into the reason for the demo, let's understand that when Charlotte Osei was removed and the manner in which she was removed created a level of suspicion as to why this had happened. Not just for one, but for the 3 top people at the EC. It was the belief of us in opposition that the appointments that subsequently followed had a partisan flavor. We then have seen since then other clearly partisan appointments, which we even took as far as the Council of State. And these appointments have been approved of clearly partisan MPP apparatchiks in some shape, form, or fashion. You then see over the period with the registration, etc., the constant flaws of figures and additions that the EC has embarked upon. So anytime they come out with their figures, we have to go and tell them, correct it. This is not right. You put on top of that the way and manner in which in the last election the results were actually announced, where for the first time in our history, the EC made a blatant mistake, had to come back, correct, and then correct on the website, leading us to take a matter to court, which, notwithstanding the outcome of that result, has left a bitter taste in the mouths of many. And so any suspicion that comes up is not based on things in the air. It's based on the performance and actions that have been attributed to the government of Ghana, who has done all these appointments, and also the EC. Then we come now to the exhibition of a provisional register. And once again, we find numerous flaws in the provisional register. We have made a request to the EC, which they are holding back on because they don't seem to think there is a need for what we are asking for, which is a forensic audit of the register. 2, 1, the forensic audit of the system or the process, and secondly, the forensic audit of the actual register and the names. Now, what is surprising is that this is not the first time in our beloved country that this type of request has been made. The first request was made in 2012, to my recollection, where the MPP, then in opposition, sought a forensic audit, and it was granted. So forensic audits are not new to our voting or our political environment. Checks were made, and we then went into the 2012 election, which they then subsequently even challenged in court. What have we found with this current provisional register? We juxtaposed this current register with the 2023 register, and we found 3,957, close to 4,000. And it's ongoing. So it's not like this is a stagnant figure, or the figures I'm quoting are stagnant. But for now, we found 3,957 voters who were in the 2023 register have been excluded or deleted from the 2024 provisional register. Their names don't appear, but they appeared in the 2023 register. We then found 2,094 voters transferred their votes in 2024, but their details are not contained in the 2024 absent list for their respective polling stations. So the absent list, which is at the polling station, should have their names. It's not there. It calls into question the legality or the validity of the said transfer. We then had 243,000 voters who transferred their vote in 2020. Note, they have been added to the 2024 transfer list again, thereby making it difficult to ascertain the accurate number of 2024 transfers, because you brought people from 2020 onto the list. And the 2024 provisional voter registers are therefore bloated, and they have to find a way to rectify this. Furthermore, we have about 15,000 voters that have been captured on the EC transfer list with no indication as to where they were transferred from. So for all you know, these are names that have just been put on a transfer list, and we do not know where they have come from. And for us, it causes major concerns. For the EC to believe that because they've put out a register for us to come in to point out problems that may exist so they can rectify, is unfortunate. Because yes, that is what we are there to do, to check. If you have 150, even 1,000 discrepancies, it can make some, that argument may hold. But there's this penchant for thinking that we will do the wrong thing, waiting for us, the political parties, or for that matter, the NDC, to come and correct. And that cannot be right. They constantly, and this is why I gave the history, constantly the EC is getting it wrong. They have shown that they cannot do the job properly. So each time they do it wrongly, we have to now come out and say A, B, or C. So we've decided, look, let an independent party come and look at what you've done. Let's see your systems. Why are these flaws occurring? And once we are all satisfied with their outcome, the suspicion is gone. I don't know why the EC feels that this is a request that is too much for them to stomach. I believe that the government is also creating problems for itself, or for that matter, the MPP. They never seem to have a problem with the Electoral Commission in all these issues. We've seen them in opposition and we know what they've asked for. We would have thought by just giving out this rendition, by now they will be with us saying, look, for peace and quiet, let's have the audit and let's see what it captures. No. They have now become, in some circles, the defenders of the EC. They are now the spokespeople for the EC, trying to give reasons why what we are asking for is too far-fetched. Which then begs the question, what is it at all? What's the issue that is trying to be hidden? Because this political season, 3 months to an election, what is being hidden? Why is it that a forensic audit of the register, which will answer all the questions for us and let all of us go into the election feeling that nothing untoward has been, or even if there are any issues, they can now all be clarified. It's almost as if bring what you have, and when we rectify it, if you haven't seen other things, and we won't touch it because you haven't raised it. They are supposed to give us a clean register. And that is their duty and their job. So with this type of flaws that I have given, and we are not talking of small numbers, these are huge numbers. It beggars belief that anyone who has heard what we've said, and let's not forget, we had a meeting with the EC here. When we went there, they indicated that, oh, the name that we had called was on the register. Really? We asked, where is the person who is registered, the name that you have given us? Where is their polling station on your district? The person's polling station was somewhere in the north, and the person was based in the south. So where was he? If we hadn't identified it, on polling day, where was he going to vote? He doesn't know that he's at Pusika. How is he going to get from north to Pusika? He doesn't have a clue. So you have disenfranchised the person anyway. Even if he knew, what transport is he taking to Pusika? That's not where he votes. So I think that the EC should allow the forensic audit to take place. And definitely enough is enough. If they come out, obviously, and allow the forensic audit, it may change the position.
Forensic audit by who? To be conducted
by an independent party. The last one was done under the auspices of UNDP, I believe. And I think it was KPMG that did it in 2012. So it's not after, Randy, this is not the first time. It's been done before. And if they just give the go-ahead, it will be done again. Let us all go to bed and sleep and know that, look, this register is now one we can work with. At the moment,
were you not given the needed assurances? Because from what you're saying,
yes,
the Electoral Commission does not doubt the issues you've raised.
No.
They have not said
yes,
that they disagree.
yes,
There are no basis for the issues.
yes,
However, they believe that the essence of the exhibition
yes,
was the exposure of such anomalies to be rectified. And therefore, they have the capacity to do the necessary rectifications or corrections.
when you are relying on us to tell you what you have done wrong, why can't you see what you have done wrong? And you constantly do wrong things. The figures you keep churning out are never correct. Simple addition you don't get. We should rely on you, or we should go and fix it and come. Then what is the point of your existence? What is the point of your existence? You are relying on us to come and tell you what you have done wrong. If it's a limited number, we even understand. The numbers, figures I'm talking about, 243, what are we talking about? Over 200,000, 250,000 getting? No. They have clearly demonstrated, that's why I gave you the history, that they can't add. They cannot, even 2020 results, they had to declare them how many times? And we are now with a register, and we are now supposed to accept that all these figures that are coming out, when we give it to them, they will now go and rectify. And as we speak, there are things coming out each day. They should do the necessary. They rather should go and say, hey, these things that have come out, there's a flaw. And we are 3 months to an election. To keep ourselves out of any difficulty, let's go and do the audit. And the government should immediately just find the money, give them, and let us sort ourselves out. Yes, we found money for other things that don't matter. This matters. Our whole democracy is on the line. So
there's one of the issues that I need some clarification on.
Yeah.
So I read that you said that when I say you, I mean your party,
yeah,
that you found out that people who were on a transfer list as far as the 2020 elections,
yes,
were included,
yes, so it's
in the
bloated.
transfer list for 2024.
Yes.
What was the reason given to you by the EC for that occurrence?
They haven't given any reasons for anything we've done. In fact, when we went to them first, they said they started challenging it, and when it was brought to them, they realized that there were mistakes. So they have now, I believe, requested that we give them all the shebang of what we have, so that they can now look at it and that's where we are. So they haven't really given any answers to any of the issues that have been raised.
But did they confirm that
on the issue that was
what
raised,
you found are exactly what they have also found?
They haven't confirmed anything except the ones that were dealt with on the day.
Okay.
So it's like, now bring what you have in totality.
As and when you find.
Well, what you have now, and that's why we are saying that we are constantly on the register. But that's not our job. I mean, if we've given you a few even, by now you should be saying something is wrong. And we've put this out there. So it's for them to now come up with a statement and say, look, we don't agree. We feel that this is wrong reportage, this or that. But explain it. Because we have the detail and the figures. And we also we are working with the same register that you gave us. So we are clear in our mind what it is. And we believe, therefore, that we cannot rely on their expertise any longer to get it right. Because constantly, even in the registration exercise, they were getting figures wrong. Constantly, they are getting figures wrong and making mistakes. Constantly.
If nothing changes after the Tuesday demonstration, what would you do?
We will cross that bridge when we get there.
All right.